Hi, my name is Amanda, and I am here to share my story with you. When I first heard of the project, The Homecoming, I was just really excited that finally someone was going to start the conversation of what it feels like to have someone locked up. For me personally, I have a cousin that has spent the past 3 years in jail or prison, and it's just something that's been really difficult for my family, his parents and brothers especially. But for me, I sort of reconnected with him after his first year in jail, and we became close on a family vacation. And a couple months later, he made a mistake and was back in jail, headed for prison. And that's sort of where I got wrapped up in this new life and this new world, and became really obsessed with learning about all that I could and watching all of these documentaries, which tend to focus on the bad parts of prisons, and just spent my time worrying and having all this anxiety. Was he okay? Is he not okay? Something that you don't have the option to do is just pick up the phone and call it out. So I was constantly checking my cell phone and checking my mail to see if a letter had come. There was this one time I was traveling for work and hadn't received a phone call from him in a couple of days, and was really starting to get worried. So my best friend drove to my house and found a letter and scanned it to me, and I just remember having this huge sense of relief just because he was okay. And that's just something that you struggle with on the outside when they're in, is just, are they getting into trouble? Are they getting into fights? Are they being bullied? Are they the bully? And you just want to know if they're okay. I did have the opportunity to go visit him a couple of times. There's a lot of rules that you don't know about, but the weirdest part to me was when you get through security, they give you a piece of paper with his name and number on it, and you hand it to the correction officer, and it feels like you're checking out a library book and not a person. And then they have to sit across the table, and you're only allowed to hug him at the beginning, and they can't walk to the vending machine, and there's all these rules, and it's hard to see a person that you love in that situation. I also remember just looking at his knuckles, and looked like he had been in a fight, but he didn't really go into a lot of detail, so it just made me worry even more than I already was. So just really difficult, and I really wish I would have had more people to relate to. My family didn't really talk about it just because it was just extremely difficult, and then I didn't want to bring it up with my friends because it's sort of a taboo, and I just didn't want them to judge my family. So I sort of internalized a lot of those feelings and wish that I would have had other outlets to just to reach out to people who sort of were going through the same thing. So hope that you'll share your story, and really excited for this project.